It's here, guys. We're finally here. Levi McNeil, KJ Collins on the court at the same time for the same team. The time has come, and I'm ready to see it. Alongside me tonight to call this Assassins versus Chupacabras game, I have the Ballers GM and the Talents GM. Welcome, guys, and thanks for being here.
For having
Glad
us.
to be here.
Like I said during the intro, Levi McNeil, KJ Collins, both on the same team. Monster trade. A lot of people would argue that this trade favors the Tornadoes more than it does the Assassins. There's only one way to really find out, and that's to watch them play. I am excited, and here we go. KJ wearing the purple and black. Jump ball is up, and KJ gets it. Here we go with Dante Martin Jr. bringing the ball up. Gets it over. Roberto Cortez. Fadeaway three for no reason. Can't get it to go. Jatavius Cleveland with the board. Normally, that would be Jacoby Taylor's job to secure those rebounds, but he is now playing for Smashville. Here comes Cortez. Gets it over. Collins. That's good.
It's easy. That is KJ all day.
Fast break offense, very fast scoring. It's almost like the Assassins are trying to replicate what the Stingrays did a couple years ago. Here comes Francois. Champ sets a screen. Francois does not take it. Dante Martin playing good D. Francois, though, gets to the rim. The layup is good. Cortez inbound now to McNeil. McNeil playing shooting guard. Normally the point here, takes a screen from KJ, shoots the three. That's up and no good as Cassius Falls pulls down the rebound. Lion, our expert statistician tonight, what is your perspective on this trade? Who wins, who loses?
Well, it's definitely easy to look at this trade and see one player in return for that massive haul. But it's KJ Collins. He's the perennial MVP contender and one of the best players we've ever seen in this league. So it's hard to say that it's possible to overpay for a guy like that.
I agree with that. What about your take, Ballers GM?
You know, I love KJ Collins, but man, Jacoby Taylor, I'm a super fan of him. I think Tornadoes came down with a win on this trade, sacrificing so much defense on the Assassins' end. I can't wait to watch more.
Agreed. Defense was already an issue for the Assassins. It's almost like they're going with the approach of, we're not trying to defend anymore. We're going to outscore you night in and night out.
Exactly.
And here we go. Turner with the three. That's no good. Cleveland with the board and the putback draws the foul from KJ. That's going to be a massive struggle for the Assassins is rebounding. KJ Collins, normally a power forward, is now playing the center position and is not known as a tenacious rebounder in this league. I believe the Assassins' approach to sacrificing some rebounding was that we're not going to miss very many shots. We don't need to rebound if we're not going to miss it.
Well, here, let me ask you a question now. With these big trades going on, who do you think's got the best duo in the league? Levi McNeil, KJ Collins? That's scary.
Best duo in the league for me, I will never vote away from this. Hands down, Russ Hopkins, Travis Price. They didn't need to
I agree with that one.
As much as I love all these trades the last couple days, Russ Hopkins, Travis Price, still my favorite duo in the league. Those two are fantastic. As Levi uses his left hand to go up strong against Cleveland.
Great facilitating on the Assassins' end. It's just team basketball through and through.
Constant passes, and there's a steal from Dustin Bass. Levi McNeil trying to get out in front. Bass for three. That's no good. Tough miss, but good look. Here come the Chupacabras, a strong team in their own right. Really struggled as of late, but their talent level is off the charts if they can start to get it to click. Fergione's going to take the champ screen. Doesn't use the roll there.
2 seconds left. 2, 1.
Bass, good defensive play. Here comes McNeil, pushing tempo. Bass Looking around. Gets it over to Cortez. Cortez on the wing. He's a sniper. Trying to get somebody open. Levi running around the arc. KJ gets it to him. Pick and roll now with KJ Collins. Levi attacks. Can't finish. Cleveland with another board. KJ Collins very quiet in his debut so far. Alley-oop over the top of KJ Collins.
That is just what's going to happen.
Yeah, Jatavius Cleveland, too big and strong. Should be able to dominate the paint tonight. Here comes Dante Martin Jr. Finds Bass. Bass, great give and go to a cutting Dante Martin Jr. Comes Cassius Falls, the big point guard that plays the 3 position for the Chups. Puts it up. That's no good. Cortez, great defense on that play. Grabs the rebound and now pushing tempo. Dante Martin Jr., the former Lynx point guard, top overall pick, really struggled his first couple seasons, but coming to life as a bench player for the Assassins. KJ with a tough miss there, gets his own rebound though. Gets it to Dante for 3, rims out. Couple of tough misses for the Assassins early in this game. Here comes Cassius Falls. Gets it back to Francois. Francois over to Cassius again. Takes the Jatavius screen. Goes up with it. No good.
KJ Collins with another board.
Here comes KJ using his speed. Gets it to Levi. Puts it up. That's good.
Assassins are just so fast now. The fast break offense. I love to see it.
Leonard Taylor, Garrison Fleming looking like they're ready to check in for the Assassins. Interesting to see how this rotation is going to go, because that was one of the biggest losses for the Assassins, was they sacrificed some key depth. They made a couple of free agent acquisitions, but in my opinion, they shouldn't be much of game changers out there. They're more just rest for the starters. Jimmy Blake now, Hunter Cooley in for the Chupacabras. Ben Woods also checking in. Ben Woods, very good three-point shooter if he can get himself open. Blake for 3. Shot's no good. There's Jonathan Wright Foreman, the free agent acquisition, pulling down the rebound. Fleming now takes the KJ screen. Attacks. Floater. That's good.
Beautiful.
Great finish around the rim for Garrison Fleming. He's just one of those guys that can make tough shots look easy.
Yeah, Garrison Fleming really has just a soft touch around the rim. Everything just seems to go smoothly.
Ben Woods, tough looking 3. Almost gets it to go though. Here comes KJ playing point. Gets it over to Monty Blackman, the other free agent acquisition. Facilitating point guard is Monty Blackman. KJ, turn and fade. Interesting selection as the Assassins get the board. Wright Foreman able to gather it and then draws the foul from Jimmy Blake. They drop it into Leonard Taylor, who tries to go up strong. Good pass. Collins goes up with it, can't finish. Collins really struggling still in his debut. Here goes Prigioni for 3, that's good.
There it is. The Chupacabras needed that. They needed that little spark of points.
Absolutely. Blackman takes the screen. Good behind the back there. Kicks it back to Wright Foreman. Foreman over to KJ. Passing the ball around like the Assassins do. Wright Foreman puts it up. That's no good. KJ tried to grab it but couldn't.
Cleveland really showing his dominance on the boards today. Lack of Jacoby Taylor does make a difference.
And then there's another shot by Prigioni. Uninterrupted by Leonard Taylor's defense there, able to get it to go. This is what we're talking about. The Assassins sacrificed a lot of depth. Sacrificed a lot of grit. There's Taylor for 3. That's good. Leonard Taylor knocks down the 3 ball. Extends the lead to 4 for A-Town. Looks like Prigioni is going to let the shot clock wind down. They do want to score, though, before the end of the quarter. Prigioni drops it to Woods. Woods goes up. KJ with the block.
Great defense.
To end the first quarter, we got a 4-point lead in a low-scoring contest between the A-Town Assassins and the Chupacabras. Not quite the debut we were hoping for from KJ. Lion, what do you think he needs to do to shape things up?
Well, you have to wonder if the contributing factor is his position change, and if so, he might need to take more of that big man role and work more in the low post.
If you're the Assassins and the position change is what's causing the struggle, what are your options? Dustin Bass can't play center at 6'9", or can he?
They may have to do some experimenting to find out.
Good layup by Francois Prigioni, really taking over on offense here tonight. KJ takes the Blackman screen. KJ's got the matchup. Instead of backing him down, he picks the ball up there. Interesting decision by KJ Collins.
A little hesitant on the shot. There it is.
They finally find the matchup. KJ uninterrupted by the defense, able to get it to go. Prigioni looked like he was open, couldn't get his feet set though. Blackman staying with him. These two free agent acquisitions really need to make a name for themselves at the end of the season to see if they're going to stay on the team going into next year. Here comes KJ. They're letting KJ bring the ball up a lot and play with the ball through his hands. A lot of passes. KJ turn, fade. That's no good. Interesting to see how passive KJ's being. Rather than trying to go up strong, he likes those really deep mid-range fades.
Yeah, one thing I'm really seeing is KJ Collins is still just trying to get to his spots. You know KJ Collins, he gets to a spot and makes a bucket.
Wright Foreman not able to block the shot, picks up the foul with that one. Wright Foreman, I believe he's doing about what he needs to do. He's doing a very good job at just standing in the paint and being a big body down there. Here comes some subs. Looks like Cortez and McNeil are checking back in now. Here comes the offense. KJ Collins still hasn't had a break in this game. I mean, not really surprised considering the lack of big man depth by the Assassins. Fleming over to Taylor. Taylor back to Cortez. Cortez looking for somebody to get open, gets it back to Taylor. A lot of good passes. KJ, alley-oop to Levi, that's good.
Beautiful.
Give and go, KJ to Levi McNeil. One thing you've got to wonder, maybe you guys have an opinion on this, how does Levi feel? Former champion alongside his friend Jacoby Taylor. Your team, you're thriving, you're doing well. Are you okay with the fact that your superstar teammate just got traded and potentially for less value?
Well, I don't know how much Levi would take the value into consideration, but what I do know is that that's been a face of the franchise right alongside him for the entire existence of the Talons. Or, not the Talons, the Assassins.
You're a little early on the Talons gun there. Your time will come, Talons.
Just preparing for the Talons halftime report upcoming. Just a little teaser.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. And if I'm Levi McNeil, you know, I'm not worried. I look at this. This is it. If I'm Levi, this is my team. Yeah, I don't care if KJ Collins comes in. He's number 2. Levi McNeil is a clear number 1 on the team.
That's interesting when you say that, because if you look back about 3 years, at first this was Jerry's team. And then people argued this was Jacoby's team. And now it's clear this was Levi's team the whole time.
Yep.
Levi McNeil each year continues to get better as we see the Assassins now able to take a 10-point lead I don't want to just talk about the Assassins here tonight. What do the Chupacabras have to do? They're going to be in some cap trouble next season. I mean, there's still a lot of time. The Chupacabras can make some trades, but they don't have a first-round draft pick. They don't have cap room. They have a lot of talent. It's just not translating to wins. What do you guys think they have to do to start getting some W's?
You know, I'm looking at the Chupacabras, and I'm seeing a lack of aggressiveness on the offensive side. They've got a solid team, but everyone just seems so passive. They're just looking for the complete open shot, and while smart, they need one person to be a little bit better about offense. Good foul. Leonard Taylor heading to the line now.
Momentary pause by myself. I am back. As you see, Leonard Taylor really taking an increased role tonight in the scoring department. That's something he can do. I'll give my take now on the Chupacabras. I think there might just be too much talent. Too many people battling for those shots. They don't have a clear-cut leader. And a lot of times you need a leader. You need a clear number one guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have that, because at any given night it could be Darnell Turner, it could be Champ Hansen, it could be Cleveland. This team is just loaded, and they don't have an identity. They also, I think, struggle greatly with perimeter shooting. They have guys that are capable of doing it, but they don't enjoy doing it. So for the Assassins, for example, you got Cortez. 95% of the time, you're going to see him hanging around the arc. So when people like KJ or Levi cut to the basket, they might occasionally leave Cortez wide open out there for the quick, easy threes. Sometimes those quick, easy threes, they might only happen twice a game, but they are momentum swingers. And
absolutely.
The Chupacabras are missing that, because Vin Woods, he's a great shooter, but he doesn't hang back there often enough. Vin Woods is also a good rebounder, so he likes to also attack the paint, as Leonard Taylor able to get the up and under to go.
Yeah, just moments ago, Dante Martin Jr. just alley-oop to Levi McNeil, and you've just been seeing that a lot with the Assassins. They love the cut, they love the alley-oop.
Makes you almost wonder how good Jamarius Randall could be on the Assassins team. Could you imagine? KJ, Levi, Jamarius.
Easily the best offensive team. If that got put together, that'd be just scary.
There we go. That's what I mean. Stay true to the threes. Sit at the arc and don't move. You might feel like you're doing nothing, but occasionally the defense loses themselves, and then you get a quick dagger. That's what the Chupacabras need. They need one talented player to come over to their team. That is about as, I mean, maybe a Murray Williamson would even help, but I wouldn't risk that.
Yeah, they need to look at the draft. Maybe, they need to look at the draft, maybe a trade. Get a space person. Just sit at the three and just shoot threes. That's all they need to do.
That's the thing, though. They don't have the draft picks to do that, and two, they want to win now. They've got talent to win now. They need just one trade. You look at who's on the floor right now. Turner likes to cut, just like that. Hunter Cooley likes to play around the mid-range. You've got other players on the court like Cassius Falls, facilitating inside score. Cleveland, inside score. Champ Hansen can stretch, but prefers to slash. Every one of those guys are going to get in each other's way while attacking the rim. Dante Martin puts it up. That's no good. Cleveland with a monster rebound.
Yep.
Here comes Hunter Cooley again. Hunter finds Cassius. Cassius, great pass to Darnell. Darnell able to score over Levi McNeil. And that's going to be the struggle for the Assassins' defense. Can they stop the other team from scoring, especially if the other team gets hot? 56 seconds away from your Talents halftime show. Don't forget to get your popcorn ready and don't leave during the halftime show. You're going to want to hear this.
It's always entertaining.
Well, you know who's really been showing out today is Leonard Taylor. This guy is getting open, shooting great shots, facilitating.
Leonard Taylor was just a steal by the Ballers a season ago.
Yeah.
Nobody saw him coming. I mean, the drafts over the years have offered surprise player after surprise player. This year, I don't think there's any doubt that the surprise player is Steve Kamirov. Who saw that coming?
Yeah. Wait, let me ask you a question. In this upcoming draft, who do you think is going to be the surprise player from the upcoming NCAA players?
That's tough because it all depends on where they go.
Yeah,
but I see players being slept on right now, like Michael Self. He's not necessarily putting up big numbers in college, but that's because he's doing a good job of getting his teammates around him involved. If for some reason people are not talking about him in the draft process, so I think he could easily be stolen by probably the Polar Bears, like most players will be.
Oh, you mean, Damiana Self, yeah.
No, Michael Self.
Michael Self, yeah.
Oh, no, I meant Sean Self. Getting all my Selfs mixed up.
The Self brothers will do that to you.
It's not as bad as it sounds. I meant to say Sean Self. Damiana could also be a steal, but I think he's going to go right around where he deserves. Is Turner with the buzzer beater. All right, guys, it's your time. Put your headphones on, turn your volume up, grab some popcorn, put on some deodorant, and get ready. It is your Talons halftime show presented by Talons GM. It's all yours.
Welcome to the halftime show. You got what you came for, what you tuned in for, what you clicked the video for, your halftime report. Alright, nobody actually clicked this for this report, but you're getting it anyway by popular demand from nobody. And this week we're going to talk a little bit about the one-time rule that we're doing right now, where you are allowed to get rid of a very high overall player in exchange for a compensatory pick, because that appears to be the route that the Talons are looking to go to try to improve their team for next year. As everybody knows, the Talons and draft picks go together like peanut butter and mustard, not peanut butter and jelly. They just don't go together. But it might be the only option that they have, considering that their other moves haven't been working. And with free agency coming, they're going to have to start paying their guys. Now, with free agency coming, you might be thinking, well, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and get superstars? No, we're going to keep this core together and potentially look at a superstar to get rid of to try to bring in a young guy. Try to revitalize this core, get it working together, because we're not straying away from our philosophy of shooting. That much I can guarantee you. Back to you, fellas.
What is the Talons' answer for rebuild? Stay the same.
Always.
Get rid of our superstars.
Well, let me
more
if
shooting.
I can ask the Talons.
Always.
If I can ask the Talons GM a question, you're quite under the cap right now. Superstar. Most of your players aren't considered a superstar, as in like a Cleveland. So who are you thinking, if you can give any insight to that?
We're not open to questions to the media.
He does bring up a fair point. You talk about trying to get rid of some superstars to clear some cap space and make room for young players. But your superstars are young, and you do have a lot of cap space available. So, I mean, I do have to ask the same question. I'm just confused. That's my question. So what is happening?
I don't know if this wasn't clarified by my statements, but we're trying to clear cap space to bring in a superstar by making this move.
What superstars do you think will be available in free agency?
Well, I mean, if you look at the Chupacabras this year, they're going to have a lot of players that they're going to have to make decisions with, and I expect a couple other teams to struggle with free agency decisions, and I expect there to be 1 or 2 big moves. And if we can be the top competitor for somebody who fits the Talons scheme, and we can give the biggest offer for, make our team better, and potentially add a young piece from this draft class, then I think that is enough juice to make us a contender.
But what do you have to say about the fact that...
At least to get better.
What do you have to say about the fact that the Polar Bears and Tornadoes are going to have a lot more cap space than you?
Cut out, but I assume it's something about their draft picks.
No. Wait, no. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now.
What do you have to say about the fact that the Tornadoes and Polar Bears have a lot more cap space than you?
Well, that is why we're trying to clear as much as possible, because we are going to have cap space regardless of whether or not we make a move to get rid of one of our top guys that we'd have to pay anyway. So the only way to guarantee that we can get that star player is to overpay for him.
Back to the game. I mean, look at this. Chupacabras going into the third, only 31 points. This has been a very low-scoring game for both teams.
I recommend shooting more threes. That's my statistical analysis for this game.
You talk about the Chupacabras as there's an alley-oop over to Bass.
There it is.
You talk about the Chupacabras having some players you're interested in. Could you give us some insight as to which ones?
Classified.
Well, because I'm looking at the floor right now trying to think who would fit the talent system from the Chupacabras that might become available. And I don't see any.
I'll be real with you. The Chupacabras aren't exactly the team I'm scouting. But I'm going to try to show you that there are teams in the league that are going to have to make some tough decisions. Champ Hansen could be one of them.
Didn't you do that experiment already?
And maybe round 2 will be better. Maybe it'll be like Braun coming back to Cleveland.
That's true. That's so true, but so far off. The Vixens, I don't think they have any tough decisions to be made. You got the Chupacabras, you got the Ballers, the Assassins should be okay now with trading away their depth. Bobcats, I don't think they really have many tough decisions.
Stallions, I think, are going to have a decision to make.
They do have a big 3, but you have to remember none of those big 3 players are over 96 overall, and Khalil Fox is only an 88. A lot of people forget that.
True, but you're looking at Juwan Quinn, Rockwell, and Vince Hart being really expensive still. Depends how badly they really want depth.
Well, so if they opt out of depth, which you know, Duck, that's what he's going to do.
True.
You might...
There it is.
So let me guess. Your entire plan was Vince Hart.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure when I looked last, the Stingrays also had decisions to make too.
Yeah. But I have inside knowledge, because I'm the best reporter, that C.J. Thomas might be on his last legs.
Ooh.
That, and you also have to remember the Stingrays have already announced that in an effort to keep C.J. Thomas, they're cashing in Tyler Maxey for compensatory first.
Okay.
Maxey.
What about what about the Baller situation right now? After their trade, how do you think their cap situation shakes out?
They helped themselves a little bit because they downgraded from Fields to Henry, and that's a loss of 2 overall. That's the difference of a couple million. And then they went from Hawkins, who was a 99, to Ed Payne, who was just a 90. So they actually improved their cap a lot. Listen, I don't mean to poke holes in your plan, but...
It'll work out. It always works out for the Talons.
onto this game.
Oh!
There it is.
Cleveland dominating the paint tonight.
Yeah.
Ballers GM,
You know,
why
I've been
do you
really-
keep trying to distract us from attacking the Talons? Give the people what they want.
Yeah, Ballers GM.
You know, I just really noticed Jacoby Taylor's gone from Assassins, right? But this perimeter defense is still locking down the Chupacabras. I know they've been suffering from the perimeter offense, but man, they only got 36 points. That's it.
Like I said, the Chupacabras, I honestly think they need a superstar move. It might not look good on paper, but I just think the team will play better if they move one superstar. Hey, Chupacabras, I like Cassius Falls.
If you were the Chupacabras, what star would you move?
Darnell
What do you
Turner.
think?
Everywhere
You
Darnell
move-
Turner has ever gone, he's been a struggle bus for his team. As you see, he's cold right now. He's a superstar scorer who just cannot take over a game. And you cannot have that as your number one scoring option. He's got to show a slow shot release and just bad decision making, as you saw there.
What about someone like a Jerry Johnson? If he gets released from the Talons.
Jerry'd be good. Maybe you can see a Jerry for Turner trade. That might be something that the Talons would do. Because they're stupid.
That's not nice. Listen, when it comes to strategy in Talons basketball, not only do we live by the motto of let the three fly, we also live by the motto of just don't worry about it, it'll work itself out.
I mean, how interesting would this be? Clear some cap space for yourself. Shane Kerrigan for Vin Woods. You spend a lot to get Shane Kerrigan from Chupacabras. Just to offer him back for a lower overall player that shoots threes.
You think they would do it?
They might. You should try. I think it's
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
I need to go send a message.
For those of you guys that don't know, the Talons are terrible.
Well,
Can you disagree? Can you legally disagree with that?
I am talking to my legal counsel. We've come back with a statement that we are leaving this decision on whether or not we agree or disagree to the future. And for now, we are leaving a neutral statement of rude.
So I do have some more breaking news because I'm the best reporter in this room.
What?
Before an offer was made to obtain KJ Collins, the Assassins GM tried for Russ Hopkins.
Oh.
Russ Hopkins' asking price was too high, so it was turned down.
Russ Hopkins is is my favorite shooting guard in the league, hands down.
He is my favorite
He's
player.
so deadly.
Beat that.
Yeah.
Beat that.
Right.
Here comes Vin Woods. Open for three. Oh, I thought he might take it there. Russ Hopkins, just a spark plug. He's just so fun to watch. He is more of a Talons player than the Talons players could ever be.
Well, if Talons grabbed a Russ Hopkins, they'd have to trade away the whole team and then some.
I think he would still say no. I literally don't think there's a package where they would say yes to obtaining Russ Hopkins. Trading Russ Hopkins for anything off the Talons team. I think you could literally do Talons roster for Russ Hopkins, and the Rattlesnakes guy would say no.
And rightfully so, too.
Yeah, that's how bad the Talons are. For those of you that also don't know, the Talons right now are the only actual team that are not in the playoffs. They are currently sitting at like the 17th spot. So they're one game out, losing to an AI team.
Underdog mentality, boys. Chip on his shoulder.
Well, as the Ballers GM, that gets me excited because I'm going against either the Talons or an AI.
Who would you rather see, the AI team or the Talons?
Seems like an easy win either way, so it's a flip of a coin.
That's what the Guardians thought a couple weeks ago until we whooped them.
That's true. You did upset Deion Hill and the Guardians.
That's going to happen to the Ballers.
More breaking news also, before Russ Hopkins was turned down, the Assassins GM tried for Deion Hill and got laughed at. Man, I'm breaking news like crazy tonight.
Yeah, let me break some news. Not recently.
Break the trading Levi McNeil to the Talons news.
But a long time ago, I offered basically my entire starting five for myself. It was rejected.
I don't know what's more astounding about that news.
Did you add a first-round pick?
Surprising piece of that story.
I did. I offered so many things, but it was rejected.
As rightfully it should be.
Meanwhile, in real life, Doc Rivers would trade his son for a ham sandwich.
Levi, mid-range jumper, no good.
Cleveland's only got about 8 points this game, 8 to 10 points. He's been shut down.
Yeah. Like I said, this Chupacabras team, they don't mesh well. They have too many conflicting superstars. On paper, this team looks like they're probably the best team in the league.
Yep.
But when you really evaluate their tendencies and their play styles, it just doesn't work. Here comes Levi again. That's good. What else can we say bad about the Talons?
We should change it to a new topic. Maybe about how good the Talons are.
They're fun.
Alright, and that's the end
Very
of that.
fun team to watch.
What about, let's see if we can count the good decisions made by the Talons GM in the last couple years.
Okay.
Are there
any? I think one of the best decisions Talons have made is to recently dump a couple players and cash them in.
Their best decision is something that hasn't happened yet.
Whoa. Alright, what about the decision to draft their franchise in Mo Booker like 4 years ago?
I mean, do you want to be applauded for taking the clear-cut #1 pick?
I mean, he wasn't the #1.
I mean, the clear-cut choice at that selection? I don't believe there were that many other options, were there? I could be mistaken. There's been a lot of drafts.
I'm pretty sure he was like an end of the first round guy.
Well, that was a good draft pick. Well, okay, I do have to say this. The Talons draft history, very successful at drafting. Never missed on a player.
Yeah, we've literally never missed, but we've also got like a 2-person ever drafted by the franchise history.
You've drafted Ulf Sundin, and you've drafted Mo Booker. Those are your 2 draft picks ever.
Yeah, I do not recall us ever making another draft. Oh wait, no, we did. We were 3 for 3. We hit on Damian Bryant.
There you go, yeah. Darnell Turner, buckets.
Turner able to score against the guy that isn't an actual player in this league.
Chupacabras coming out of the 30-point deficit. See a little fire, a little spark plug.
Yeah, you are a very good drafting team when you have picks to draft with.
That's why I expect to draft a franchise player with whatever compensatory pick I
get. That's so true. Who do you think might be there for you that late in the draft? Do you
Doesn't matter. Whoever I pick
do
will
you dare take a Bean Shep who matches your scheme perfectly?
Listen, if I can get a Bean Shep, there's never been a more talented player to ever come out of this NCAA so far.
I mean, Bean Shep should be there late in the first. Unless, of course, B Shep takes Bean Shep.
Which I can see happening.
If Bean Shep gets taken, though, who are you going to try to take late in the first? Remember, your superstars aren't going to be there like Trelly Wright, Josh Allen, Jay Blinko.
Maybe a Scott Puggle. Oh, there it is, throwing it down. Maybe a Scott Puggleson on your team. You need someone who can get boards.
Listen, don't even try to speculate on what should be done because he's just going to do what's best for his scheme. Scott
And that
Puggleson
kind of person might be like a Hershey Allen.
Yeah, Hershey Allen's good. I think he attacks the rim too often for your scheme, though.
A little bit, but I think we can fix him.
But there's no way Hershey falls out of the top 10. No way. What about Chalk Thunder?
Oh, one of the smoothest strokes in the NCAA. Doesn't shoot as often as he probably would if he was on a team where he was the star. Because he's almost, if not as good as everyone else on his team, he's just not the focal point.
I mean, anybody that gets drafted to the Talons will be the superstar.
I mean, we need more shooting.
Let's say the Assassins get the first overall pick like they're projected to do right now. And let's say they draft a Jay Blinko. How much assisting do you think could possibly be done?
Be fantastic.
My question, though, is that just not a good scheme fit? Because then you'd have Jay at the 4, KJ at the 5. Where would Dustin Bass go?
Well, you got to
Could
think
you potentially move Jay to the 3?
Jay Blinko, I believe, is 6'10", maybe 6'11". He may be small for a center, but he also specializes in boards. And I know personally Jay Blinko has been working hard at his facilitating.
My question, though, even though Jay Blinko is like the best player in the NCAA right now outside of Josh Allen, where we're not counting Josh Allen because we don't know if he'll commit, would a better scheme fit be to take Steve Carter?
Oh,
that's a tough one.
A true dominating big man? It might be.
There, out the window would go any problem you had at rebounding before.
Well, then let me ask you this. Carter goes first. Where do you think Jay Blinko would then fall?
Right after the South Bros to the Polar Bears. Since the Polar Bears own the rest of the top 10.
Yeah, so he would be... Polar Bears have 10, 11 picks, right?
They have a lot.
Jay Blinko would then fall to maybe the top 15 picks.
The only problem, though, is if the Polar Bears drafted a Jay Blinko, that would potentially put Damiana Self or Jay Blinko onto the bench.
Hey.
You also have to put into consideration that there could be teams that trade up in the draft to try to get somebody who falls from their original value.
Not possible.
I agree.
DeAndre Jordan with the block and then pass up to Mario Herzonia.
Interesting lineup decision.
Over to James Hart.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. What upcoming NCAA player has got the most to prove coming fresh out of college?
Bean Shep. With how bad his college career went, he's got to be good year one in the SPF. Otherwise,
I think Jeffrey John also has a lot to prove because there's been a lot of talk from the player Jeffrey John about how he could do so much better without Bean Shep and the turmoil that is going on for the Wolverines program.
that's because
That I feel like
Shep is terrible.
that if he is the lead point guard on a team and they don't do well, just imagine the trash talk that Bean Shep could fire back with.
Yeah.
As long as I don't get drafted to the same team as Bean Shep, whoever takes Jeffrey John's going to the championship.
I hope someone messages Polar Bears to draft both Bean Shep and Jeffrey John.
My only
max
argument
pressure.
to Lions' take of pressure is that how much pressure could there really be when you were defensive player of the year in college and led your team? So, I mean, I agree. You got to back up the talk at this point, but at the same time, Bean Shep struggled hard in college and is trying to talk himself out of being considered one of the worst college players. He's got a super short leash going into the pros. If he starts to struggle even 2 games, 3 games in the pros, people are going to start to say, okay, it wasn't just a fluke at Michigan. He's bad.
He might go to free agency.
Exactly. He could very much, that's why I'm saying there's a lot of pressure. He could very much wind up as drafted to the free agent league within a few weeks of the next year's season.
Oh.
Whereas Jeffrey John, I feel like there's less pressure because he did well enough in college at proving he's the best defender that he'll bounce around the league a little bit if he struggles before he goes to the free agent league.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what players are considered fantastic in college, but come in as pros and just be a bust. And the other way around. Players who aren't shiny in college just thrive in pros.
Another thing to consider is how exciting it's going to be when players decide, okay, I wasn't drafted in the first round, so now I have to choose. Do I go to free agency or do I return to college? I'm excited to see what players choose.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this game. You watched the Assassins take over and win over the Chupacabras. It was fun to watch. Got a little sidetracked, but it's easy to do when the score is that much of a gap. Thanks for checking us out. Remember to hit the like button, drop a comment so I know you watched it. See you guys later.
Bye.